to Monuments of Life podcast. I am your host, Jackie, and today, of course, we have a visitor who is a nature consultant. Today, we'll be focusing on HR consultancy. So, welcome to today's episode.
Thank you so much. My name is Rafiki Karisa, a HR consultant, consulting with Rare Gift Consultancy Limited, which is a consultancy firm that has been in business for the past 3 years. Although, in terms of consultancy, we've been consulting business for the past 5 years.
Okay, so why did you choose HR consultancy?
I think I chose HR consultancy because number one, it's my career, it's what I did in school. And number two, I am a certified human resource professional of Kenya. That gives me now an upper hand to practice as an HR consultant.
Now, while you're working with the HR consultancy, what achievements have you achieved so far?
So far, I've recorded so many achievements,
Yeah.
but just to mention a few. Number one, I've been able to do many trainings
Yeah.
that have seen several organizations transform their performance.
Yeah.
Our motto at Rare Gift Consultancy is inspiring productivity. So some of the trainings that we've done has seen a major organization transforming their productivity.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you focus mostly on organizations only?
We focus both on organization and individual. I usually do performance coaching for employees, and it's just because some of the coaching activities are confidential, but I've been able to do coaching for major business executive in this country for the Name It organization.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the game for 5 years. So can you tell us the challenges that you've undergone while in the game?
Um, the challenges are there for somebody who is new in the profession, or rather who has not been in the consultancy business, especially for a new company like Rare Gift. Many clients may not trust you. But for the clients who've trusted us, we've been able to deliver on the terms of referencing. Yeah, but remember, we were talking about achievement and they only mentioned training. So we've been also been able to do policies for many organizations.
Yeah.
We've also been able to do uh, a recruitment for quite a number of organizations.
Yeah.
We've also been able to do strategic planning for quite a number of organizations. And so the list continues because we have our scope is wide, and we usually practice on all the HR areas. That's why we do general HR consulting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe you can explain to us in a layman's language what is HR consultancy? What does it entail?
HR consultancy in a layman language uh, is just seeking advisory from an HR, just like somebody who goes to a lawyer to seek legal expertise. Is the same thing that a person will go to HR consultant to seek for HR advisory. And many people, for one reason or another, downplay HR practice.
Yeah.
But that has been a reason of downfall for many organizations because HR is the key. There are organizations which started with less capital,
Yeah.
but because they had competent staff, they were able to advance their operations and scale up their activities. But there are organizations which had strength in capital, strength in strategic location, and the name it a competitive advantage. But because they don't play the HR and the HR practice and the HR consultancy, they are now nowhere in the market.
the CEOs of different organizations in terms of being in the market for so that they can sustain themselves in the market?
We tell them to seek advisory. HR advisory is very crucial when you are operating an organization. As long as the organization engages people, then you need us. You need us. When the organization is not engaging people, probably machine, then you can engage engineers and the like. But as long as it's engaging people, then there is the need for HR practice. And I will also advise them to seek for a competitive HR advisory. Because there are people who just go for affordable services, but by the end of it all, they are not able to get the best out of the people. Remember, when you empower employees, they can do things that you'll have done probably for a lifetime. But if you do not empower them, they are not able to record any achievement. And remember, by the end of the day, when you are a CEO, whatever achievements your employee will record will be termed as your own achievements. So the best CEOs actually are not the best in terms of implementation. It's only that they have a very good and strong team and a good, of course, HR practice.
Okay, for the CEOs, they need to know maybe what qualities can they look when they try to get the HR consultant, the best HR consultant in the game. On me, what qualities can they look?
Number one is the track record.
Yeah.
Somebody who has been able to record good performance in the past. But also number two, they should be able to look for somebody who is open-minded. Remember, the market is shifting very fast. If you have somebody who is rigid, then you are likely to be rigid in your policies, rigid in your approaches, and then the market will shift, and you will not be able to benefit with the shift. But if you engage somebody who is flexible, somebody who is open-minded, somebody who will challenge the way you think, then that is the best candidate for HR consultancy, and even the internal HR operations. Yeah, when you are engaging the HR manager or HR officers or HR assistant, you need somebody who has those two qualities. Those are the major qualities that play role in HR consultancy. But there are many other qualities like education, certification, and many other.
I understand that HR consultants, they also deal with employees, right?
Yeah, we do. We deal with employees.
Okay, so maybe at this time, many people are unemployed in the country. So maybe can you tell us why is it so? How can it be done? And like, how can it help our country? Like, what should be done so that at least a good number of people should get employed? And what else can be done for those people who are employed now wanacheza na kazi ama they are not doing whatever they are supposed to do in the line of duty?
Okay, when it comes to unemployment in Kenya, it's actually a crisis, if not a pandemic. But when we talk about HR and employment, we talk about policies because it depends on the governance policies of the country. This is something beyond the employees themselves or the job seekers themselves. So it depends on what policies the government adopt for their people. But also there is a very big role that is played by the job seeker. A good example is that there are people who are competitive, who are educated, who have the skills, and who have what it takes to deliver. But you know, nobody knows what you can do, Jackie, until you tell them that, you know, I can do A, B, C, D. So in terms of marketing themselves to their prospective employers, then that is the role of the job seeker. So you need a good CV because a CV is a marketing document. This is a document that the recruiter C's in your absentia. So you need a very well done CV, and especially professional. Something that if a document that when the recruiter sees, they know that this is a serious person and I would like to meet them. And so once you have a good CV, then the likelihood of being employed is very high. I've done so many CVs for so many job seekers, and they have they are good testimonies out there.
Okay, can you maybe tell us some of the things that HR managers look into in their CVs to see a serious person, maybe a serious employee?
This is a very long discussion. Probably we can capture it in another interview.
Yeah.
But they are basic. Number one is the layout. Okay. Number two is the contents.
Yeah.
Those are the major. Of course, there are other nitty-gritties which we may not be able to go into. But at least the layout and the contents, if those two things are right, because there is a standard of a good CV,
Yeah.
there is a standard layout. Then number two, there is what contents are in the CV.
Okay.
Are these roles, responsibility, duties able to market your capacity?
Okay. When you look at the generations at the moment, some of the generation, okay, the Gen Zs, sana they are using the chat GPT. What can you say about that? Ama they're using technology to find solutions to their problems. What can you say about that?
It's a good thing for us to progress technologically. I know chat GBT will be a game changer in many aspects. But as you also know, Jackie, is that technology has been a challenge for less progressive countries. Countries which are not adopting good policies for their citizens.
Yeah.
So this technology innovation will also be a disadvantage to many people. You remember the eras where computers used to, when computers were being introduced in the market, and many people said that computers will make people lose their job. And for sure, right now, a job that will be done by four people is done by one person because the computer has made it easy. So, chat GBT will also do the same. You've heard that they are working on doing medical diagnosis, treatment of cancer through such innovation. So let's be ready for a shift.
Okay. So one of the final questions: how do you help companies beat their competitors?
Uh, for this one, we number one customize approaches and policies.
Yeah.
When you make the policies and approaches very unique, then it's not possible actually for another company to copy. And that is actually the key thing. That my policies are very unique. Even if you come for benchmarking, it becomes very hard for you to copy. Okay? So how will you beat me if my policies are unique and they can only serve me? So that is actually one of the best way and approaches that we usually help companies to beat their competitor. But also is to expand their competitive advantage when it comes to the staffing, the combination of the talents, the combination of education, qualification, the combination of experience. The young have their advantage, and so you have them in their job. The old have their advantage, and so you combine. You also look at different interest. Yeah, you combine the interest. There are people who are interested in a way of operation, but there are others who are also interested differently, and so you combine that and you get a very unique recipe that no other company can copy, and so it becomes very hard for the competitor to beat.
Okay. Maybe what else do you do apart from HR consultancy?
Apart from HR consultancy, I am a manager, so I manage a business. Yeah. So apart from HR consultancy, which I do it part time, I do a full time management. Yeah.
Are you a family man or something?
Yeah, sure, sure. I'm married. I have a daughter who is almost 7 months. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the interview. Thank you for that episode. Maybe is there anything else that you can add on HR consultancy advice? Maybe final advice to maybe organizations, to employees, to employers.
One is to start with the job seeker. The job seeker needs to get HR consultancy because an investment of less than 10,000 can make you get a job that pays you probably twice what you're getting. Okay, so this is business. I tell people that employment can either be business or slavery. You choose. Okay, when it's a business, then you find ways of ensuring that revenue increases because business maximize revenue and reduce cost. Yeah, so that is the best advice I can give to job seeker. For employers, they need to get HR consultancy. It's actually the main thing. Okay, in the in the past, employers have been adopting and embracing audit, financial audits, but rarely do employer embrace consultancy at the same level to which they embrace financial audit. But you remember, finances come is an end product. The first or the initial product is the employee, and so you need to work on the initial, the employee. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that episode. I hope you have learned something from out of that. You need to look for an HR consultant. You need to look for an HR manager who can manage your work so that you can go to greater heights. So I have been your host, Jackie, or Jacqueline Mungathia. Until next time, bye bye.